Hi, Zizaran here, and I just wanted to do a build update of the build I'm currently playing. My Righteous Fire died, and I know a lot of my friends was playing an Omniscience build. Omniscience is a really cool amulet, and it turns all your attributes into Omniscience. And what this does is it gives you resist, and it gives you penetration. And there's nothing better than penetration. So this build was originally made by Mitchy Bird and Lind River, and now a lot of people are copying that, and that is because it is insanely strong and very tanky. I've actually never had a damage like this on hardcore. Maybe my instacker came close, but that would be the only one, and that also had a lot more gear. So as you can see in the background, I am bursting down like it was insane for Maven, especially because we're using Vol Lightning Strike and it's always full for the Maven stage. So I fill it up on the brain and then boom, burst down Maven, and she dies in 3 seconds. And obviously getting damage like this is very hard and hardcore. I think it's somewhere between 6 to 12 million, and the reason it's such a large fluctuation is a lot of it is also positioning. You kind of want to be aiming, you want to be standing at a certain distance and be like either aiming right before the monster or right after. You don't want to name lock it. So it takes some getting used to optimal damage, but you very much notice. And the reason for that is because we're using point blank on the build, and it does fire that extra like strike, steals, target an additional enemy. So when you're hitting with both the actual attack and the ranged attack, and both bolts are hitting, you're getting so much damage. So it is insane, and as you can see, it is just murdering everything. It feels really good for mapping, and I'm really enjoying the build. We can go in here real quick and look at my current gear. I wasn't really ready to build this. My RF died, and I had this. And I dropped my Sapphire Ring, and I knew a lot of people were playing this build, so I was like, okay, I'll throw some essences on it. I hit it in 2, and I really regretted using a tier 2 essence because I hit that. I still need to like remake the prefixes, but I used all my exalts as I died. Like I used like 12 to 30 exalts on my RF character. I think 12 right before I died, with another 20 the 2 days before. So obviously SSF exalts aren't the easiest to get, but yeah, that was very annoying. So I didn't really have anything left over for this build, or at least not a lot. I had this ring, and then I was like, well, I don't have Omniscience. I'm gonna do one of the red bosses because it is a fairly common drop, and if it drops, I'll start like, you know, making some of the gear. I'd also been kind of thinking about doing an instacker, so I think I had 160 deafening essence of spite, or at least a lot, as well as quite a lot of rage and sorrow. However, I have just done a strength stacker, so a lot of that gear was used on that. Now some of that gear was transferable to this, but mostly just things like this. So this was nice to have from my strength stacker. I have since then made perfect gloves, so these just need to be divined, and honestly they're not going to get better for me realistically on SSF. My claw is pretty bad. That's the biggest thing I'm looking at upgrading. I'm looking to get at least double tier 1 with hopefully a third good tier, like tier 3 or something would be nice on the last one. Other than that, it's pretty okay. I would like to get a better ring. It's not bad, but you know, better is always better. Chest, I currently have a very trash one. I am working, I started splitting some chests. That's the main thing I'm working on, because I really want to have spell suppression on the chest. So with divining and hitting suppression on the chest, I would like to replace my shield. This currently has like no stats. So getting a new shield, getting a new chest is the main stuff. New boots are pretty doable, because obviously getting the prefixes done later isn't hard. But yeah, I will be trying to get new boots at some point. The perseverance is pretty much best in slot. So you can see, from my gear, I only have 1,800 armor and 4,900 evasion. Now, let's see what I have with auras on. With auras, it's 33,036, and with potions, it's almost 50. So 45,000, that means that I'm getting 220% increased damage from my belt. Also getting the 7% increased life, a bunch of cold res, and I'm getting onslaught. So I have onslaught all the time. You don't see it, but I have it. The helmet is very whatever. It's just, you know, one stat, spell suppression. I was just trying to make sure that I'm spell suppression capped. I've already done Uber Elder, Maven, Twisted. Didn't do Formed, but that shouldn't be hard either. Uber Elder was awful. I almost insta-died to the beam. Everything else doesn't really do much, but degens are awful. So I don't know, like maybe I'll make a new character just for Uber Elder, but it was not fun on this. And right now I'm just working on leveling different like auras that I kind of want to have at level 3 or 21, sorry. And I was very lucky. I managed to get an anomalous Vol Lightning Strike on my first try. And I actually have more primer rating lenses. So I was not expecting to get it on the first one. It is a 50-50, but still, you know. I did finally get my first helmet from Maven 20 kills later. Now that I don't have a character alive, I finally dropped the veil. So I don't know. I'm tempted to make another EA just because the gear I have, but I've played it so much. This is nice to have. It's such a good character. And I have this. You know, I really want to use it. It's so good for Radius Veil. Maybe I'll make a different Radius Veil build. It's just too good not to use. That's pretty much all this character has. I have a Lethal Pride with... I mean, this only happens for mapping, but +1 fortification here. Double damage here. Double damage here. Double damage here, and obviously nothing else is in range. Mediocre jewel here. Wish that had life, but I don't really have an exalt to use. So yeah, I just wanted to make a quick video about this build. I'm really enjoying it so far. Feels great for mapping, and it's bursting down most bosses pretty much instantly. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy the video. Thanks for watching. Sub if you like it, but more importantly, try to die less than I do.